My name is Dale Anderson, and I am a docent at the Military Veterans Museum in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Today in our Artifact Minute, we are going to be discussing the M3 half-track, which is standing behind me. Tracks are made of rubber that have a steel wire that is encased inside of the track, which makes for fairly silent running. Half-tracks in the United States for U.S. use were made by Autocar, Diamond, and White. International Harvester also made some on a different model. These were sent for export to England and France. The unit, as you look around it, has an armored box. Everything is armored to include around the front of the engine, which has an armored shutter on it. Armor plate is anywhere between 1/4 and 1/2 inch thick. The unit by soldiers was called the Purple Heart Box because while the sides were relatively well armored, if you look at the top of the vehicle, it is wide open. So any artillery rounds that exploded overhead, they would shell rounds on top of the soldiers, causing injuries. Roughly 54,000 half-tracks were produced during World War II. 14,000 of those were the International Harvester models that went to England and France. The half-tracks served all the way through into the 90s. They served after World War II in Israel during their many conflicts, and all the way through into Nicaragua, and other countries actually used them. They served for a long period of time. The half-track is powered by a 6-cylinder, 386 cubic inch engine, producing about 135 horsepower. Top speed of the unit would be about 45 miles an hour on a hard surface on a road. Vehicle empty weighed around 7,000 pounds. Full weight would be 10,000 pounds. The version of the half-track we have here at the museum is a personnel carrier. There are 10 seats in the back of the unit for soldiers, plus there would be a crew of 3, a driver, an assistant driver, and also a commander. Armament on this unit consists of a 50 caliber machine gun in the front and a 30 caliber machine gun in the back. Other versions of this half-track included one that had a mounted 105 millimeter howitzer, an 81 millimeter mortar that was mounted, a 75 millimeter artillery piece that was towed behind it. There were also versions that had the M33 dual 50 caliber machine gun anti-aircraft mount, or the M45 quad 50 machine gun mount. We will talk about the quad 50 machine gun mount in a later Artifact Minute. We have one that is mounted on a 2.5 ton Vietnam era truck that we have set up to look like a gun truck. This is an older vehicle. It would have been built towards the beginning of the war. At the front of the vehicle, you will see there is what's called an unditching roller. It's a long, looks like a small barrel on the front of it. The purpose of this was to be able, if they came up against, say, a fortified position that had trenches on it, they could actually drive across it. That roller would hit the opposite side, and instead of the nose of the vehicle burying itself into the other side of that ditch, it would roll up and the vehicle could keep going. Later on during the war, they realized General Patton just raced across France fast. They realized there was no need for that roller. What they did is they put winches on the front of those vehicles. This was a gas-powered vehicle. There are 2 30-gallon tanks inside of the armored box. Range would be about 200 miles on that 60 gallons of gasoline. They used a relatively low octane gas during the period. Vehicle could run easily on 65 octane gas. The high octane gas would be saved for bombers and fighter aircraft and piston airplanes. To learn more about this vehicle and other artifacts we have in our collection, please visit our website, mvmec.org. You can also go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/mvmec.